Farm for Profit Podcast. Take a listen, have a blast. Farm for Profit Podcast. Learn about farming while having a laugh. Farm for Profit Podcast.
What a unique environment for What's Working in Ag segment. We're going to learn a lot down here at Tech Hub Live, but what we're going to start off learning about is MagrowTec. And we've got a producer here with a little bit of experience. Welcome to the podcast, Josh.
Thank you.
First of all, before we get into the technology we're going to talk about, tell us a little bit about you, your operation, and what you're up to, and where you're from.
So I reside over by near Pella, Iowa, and actually kind of unique business. I don't know if you're filled in on everything, but basically we sell a bunch of self-propelled sprayers, near 50 a year, 40 to 50 a year, and send them to all parts of the world. Of course, a lot here in the States, but with that, it's just very intriguing working with different technology that's out there. And I installed MagrowTec on my own sprayer to cut back on, to eventually slowly work down on some carrier water, and also some chemical.
That's a lot of sprayers. That's a sprayer a week.
Yeah, it keeps us busy. Sometimes it's a lot more. I actually had one leave this morning for Ukraine.
Oh my!
But they're always going different directions, and 11 out of 12 months a year we're working with sprayers. So.
Did it cost them 20% more for the tariffs? Just curious.
The sprayer side of things, does that mean that your family also farms, or are you a custom applicator when you said you put MagrowTec on your sprayer?
So I do farm with my father and younger brother, and do a little bit of custom work spraying as well. For local co-op, but most of the acres is our own farm acres. I do all this our own spraying for our farm, and so with really for me, there's about 2 to 3 different businesses. I have my selling sprayers, and then also farming, and then and then also some custom work. And we do on our own farm everything that we can on our own, and any work that we can do, we do it, and don't really hire much done these days.
So Josh, let's get into what's working here. And MagrowTec is an add-on or like an upgrade kit for your sprayer, correct?
That is correct.
Gotcha. So
It doesn't tell me what it does, though. What is MagrowTec? It says superior coverage with reduced drift, but then it looks like you're putting a bunch of missiles on a sprayer.
It is a bunch of magnets, and so it's very.
I got it.
Yeah.
And you grow at the same time,
Yeah.
So you have your base unit that you put on your machine, that sits right next to your solution tank. It sits on the high pressure, or down from the solution pump. So when the pump is pushing product to the boom, it runs the solution right through your main bank of magnets, and it is heavy, but it's very interesting where it just water goes in and it comes right back out.
The point of this is to help with drift. Is that what it is? Or it lines all your butterflies up in unison and marches them across the crops? Or how's that work?
I'll finish explaining how the way it is on the rest of the boom or rest of the machine quick. You have your main unit on the side of the machine.
Okay.
But then in all your plumbing where your tips are, there's actually rods that are installed as well that helps keep the water, not really magnetized is the right way, but just keep the consistent molecule size before it hits the tip.
Okay.
So to go back and explain, just what is it doing, the way they explain it is that is helping keep a consistent molecule size, and the way it's doing that is by breaking up breaking up, moving around the ions that's within the water structure to help get consistent droplet size as it comes out the tip.
When I think about that, though, water's water. It's not metal, right? So what are the magnets doing?
Pretty much as it's just moving that molecule structure around, moving the ions around, so each droplet size can be consistent.
Okay.
Consistent droplet. I've done my own tests. Trials, just using a side-by-side with a spray system on it, setting it to 40 pounds pressure, and setting my machine that has the system on it to 40 pounds pressure. And in slow-mo, you can actually see coming out of the tip, the water droplets are much more consistent coming out of a MagrowTec system.
What does that benefit you, having consistent size water droplets coming out?
Good question. Basically, as time goes on and as a person gets comfortable with it, you can reduce your carrier, your water. And, for me, I've gone from basically 15 gallon an acre consistently to 12.5 to 13.
So efficiency.
Yep. Get more acres out of that tank. And, for me and on our farm, my dad and brother help out where they can. But the tender's set at one central spot, and then I have to go back and forth to it and so on. So less trips helps out.
You also said the first day you ran it, it was a little bit breezy.
That is correct. The first morning out, it was already by 7 o'clock in the morning, it was 15-mile-an-hour winds. By 10 o'clock, it was sustained 18 mile an hour. Gusts were higher, of course. My cousin that was using or working with those exact same tips made comment that he saw the sprayer going through the field, and he made comment that if I didn't tell him it was the exact same tip, he thought I would have been full of crap, basically.
Really?
So it just way less drift. And with all the less drift, you can also start tweaking just a little bit within your own comfort level and ensuring you're killing the weeds, but reducing some chemical usage.
Huh. So you cut some gallons, you can cut some chemicals. Does it help on like the foliar nutrition side of things at all?
I have not experimented yet with that.
Yeah.
Getting there, but just the fact that you're getting the product on the plant, and it's not drifting away. You're getting it where you want it to.
Yeah.
You're going to get better. The rate that you're applying, you're going to get on the plant.
Can you go faster? So if you have
if you're spraying less product,
product, is that give you the ability to turn it up a half a mile an hour?
You can. In our type of ground, you get to the other end of the field before you realize it,
right,
and I've learned from that before. So,
but even if you were a co-op and going over thousands and thousands of acres,
goes fast with everything.
Yeah,
it's a valid question.
Talks fast. His speeding ticket says he drives fast. I don't think we'd want to put Dave in a sprayer.
Yeah. I mean, the literature says 22 to 44% improved coverage by adding this. I'd just like to know who thought that if we put this giant bank of magnets, did it come from another industry? Like, I want to know that. Like,
well, and that's a good question. Chris, one of the MagrowTec reps, has commented to me on that he had family that is in the oil industry, and magnets are actually used within the oil industry to help pull water out of the refineries.
Okay.
What are those bracelets?
Out of the crude oil.
Oh, that helps your.
They need swag for MagrowTec bracelets.
Yeah.
We were standing at the booth, and they were talking about the technology is also similar to what you found when you get an MRI done.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to see this, but the video, very short video that I saw, this can go on any sprayer, correct?
Correct.
Well, side by side, he put it on a side by side all the way to a Hagee or something else.
Yeah, side by side.
Yeah. And I think too, I don't know that we'll be ready to do it anytime soon, but even drones and so on, and just to be able to get the
some weight
get better contact.
So when I think of what's working, what I'm hearing is that you might be able to go out on a windier day than you would have. So time improvement.
Yes, definitely.
That's what I'm hearing.
And more efficient, less fills across all of his acres if he's able to cut back on his carrier. And potentially chemical savings if you get to a point to where you're comfortable enough to cut back on your chemistry.
Correct.
So it's kind of a three-pronged approach as to what's working in ag.
Yes.
Is this a cost per unit of sprayer or cost per foot of boom? How does that work?
Basically, it is a cost per sprayer.
Okay.
There's a little bit of variables just within what size of boom you have, but for the most part, it's one price.
Right.
And what are we missing?
What about like installation? Do they have to come to you for installation, or can someone do this on their farm?
My experience, they come to our farm. There is install teams that's around, and what I can say is they told me a day, and at first thought it's like no way that would take a day. But then as you get through the process, it all takes time.
Yeah.
And part of it is too, when you have your plumbing apart, you want to make sure you don't have any leaks. You want to make sure everything is aligned the way it needs to in the plumbing. So yeah, it took the time that it was planned.
There you have it. Magnetic missiles for your sprayer.
Yeah, that's why they're going to Ukraine.
You're saying missiles is going to get us in trouble.
Is there any maintenance with it? Is it going to, increase my time there? Or do I need to clean them out or replace every so often?
Really as a whole, no maintenance. The only thing that's suggested, and it's going to be more for your clay-based type of chemicals, for sure. Rinsing the boom at night is a good thing. It does work well with a system that a sprayer that has boom recirculation on it,
nice.
Boom reclaim.
Yep.
First I thought I didn't have to have that, and it's nice.
That's one of those things that we got this year, and it's like, didn't think we needed it, but it would be nice, and then we got it, and like, how did we do it without it?
Yeah.
Cleaning out, all that kind of stuff.
Turn the pump on, and it's just right there.
We've literally had no problems with nozzles clogging or anything like that because we're reclaiming it and flushing with either air or water.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell our audience, if they've got questions for somebody that's used it, we can get them in contact with Josh and his family. It looks like if you've got questions for MagrowTec, you go to magrowtec.com/sales, and you'll be able to find a rep or at least a way to contact somebody in your area. Because it looks like they got a pretty good widespread service audience. And the fact that it goes on any sprayer, we could potentially have any one of you look at seeing if this works for you on your farm. We appreciate you, Josh, taking some time to sit down in these plush chairs.
It's the What's Working in Ag segment between two ferns.
Between two ferns. Real ferns.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you.